Hello everyone. Um, my semester for this introduction into drafting class is coming to an end, and I'm not drawing as much, but I drew two objects yesterday. One of them is this. Okay, I need to do right pan. Zoom works. Okay, well, I can't really zoom in too much on it. And you see, this one is in metric. So, oh, that means I need to apply the LT scale command. LT scale. Let's see, what is it set to? It's already set to 25.4, so I must have already done it. But the reason I use the LT scale command is because of the hidden lines. So if we zoom in, you see these hidden lines for the whole are not an interrupt, are not a dashed line, and that's what the LT scale is supposed to resolve. But oops, I pressed the middle button, and that doesn't work on Android. So I believe I printed this one out, and I think the printout demonstrated the dash lines. In fact, let's look at the let's get out of the pan and let's look at the paper version of it. If we make sure, because right now it says model and our scaling is set to metric. I don't know what the 3.94% says, but it's set to metric. If we switch to paper, then we can zoom in on paper. Yeah, the lines are dashed on paper, and if I pan, I keep getting my lines confused this morning. No, actually the lines do not look dashed either. So, I don't know what to tell you. I would have to look at the printed out output, which I left at school. My instructor asked me to leave it to him. So this is what it is for now. Okay. But these are not the drawings I want to work on this morning. So I'm going to go ahead and Control S on this one. Let's see. I got to get out of pan. Okay, that saved it. And also, this kind of drawing, I believe, is called an orthogonal projection. It's also known something like 1 and 3 projections view or something like that. The drawing like this seems to be known as a geometric construction, because it's just one view, and I don't know if the complexity is part of it, but so you see that I've tried to dimension this one, but it's pretty complex. I drew a different one where the center line was supposed to be curved, so I want to open that one up. Let's go to drawing, and we have a network drive at school, and I've been putting in So conveyor link is one of them. So I'm opening this one up, conveyor link. I don't have the paper version of this in front of me, so I actually don't know what the dimensions are. And technically, when you are doing dimensions, so this is the other geometric construct, but it does consist of two views, top view and bottom view. But let's start with the conveyor link. So the interesting part in it for me was this center line and how to get the center line to to be like this. I have not figured out the best way to find the center in this center line that connects the two circles. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a trick, and I'm going to do an offset, and let's say the offset is 2. I believe this is not metric, so I'm going to grab this line, yeah, and offset it by 2 over there. Actually, I take it back. I'm going to escape. I'm going to undo the offset. I'm going to use the move command actually. So I'm going to move, and this is the object, and this is the object, and I'm going to move them. Oh, it wants the base point. Okay, alright. We can use, well, actually let's use the middle of this tiny line. Okay, it's typing a mixture of letters and numbers. That's my Bluetooth keyboard is what's doing it. So we'll do this center, and it's letting me move it. I don't have the F8, but I think this is the ortho mode. Yeah, so I am in the ortho mode, and I'm moving straight down. But what if I type 0.5? Okay, that moved it. So now you can see the problem that I had with it is that I still have these lines, these circle lines. Oh, I'm gonna have a difficulty moving this back because I now don't have the center line. Okay, well, we'll tackle that issue too. But right now, exiting out of the pan command and entering the erase command, erase, and I'm gonna erase this line and erase this line. Because I'm a perfectionist, it's not visible that those lines are there. But I'm going to connect these two lines with another line so that I have a middle object for a reference. And because it's a different layer, it's actually easy for me to see, and it will be easy for me to delete. So I'm going to move, select these two objects again, press enter. It wants a reference point. I'm gonna do MID again, and this time it's going to be MID here, and then it asks for a second point, and I can actually say give me a middle point on this line, and that will put me right exactly where I need it to be. Perfect. Press escape, I discovered that um, instead of the erase command, if you select an object and press delete, it's gone. So that's a faster way of doing the delete command. Okay, I don't want to pan right now, do I? But I need to zoom out. Okay. And on this line, because it's so long, I kind of wanted the dashes to be a little bit more often. And that will demonstrate to you how I actually got those gaps and how I got those dashes. So let's do a line command, and let's do it on the MID, okay, where keyboard is typing numbers. So MID, so there's the center, and because we've got ortho, so we are perpendicular, press enter, and then draw another line, MID, and find the center here. And just go down a little bit. So now, because this is 1/16, and I see we've got 1 to 1, so this one is not metric. So we are safe. So I'm gonna zoom in, and we're zooming in nicely. I don't need to pan. So I use the offset command, and it's going to be 0.0625. Is that the 1/8? No, 1/16. We need 1/16. So we're gonna do 1 divide by 16. Press enter, and it took that. So now I select this line, copy it to this side, select this line, copy it one more time, select this line, copy it here, select this line, copy it here. So then I press enter to get out of the offset command, and I go into the trim command, but I'm typing numbers. I go into the trim command, and the gaps that I need to take out are over here. So selected the trim lines, press enter, and then take out that piece and take out that piece, press enter. Now I can actually select all these lines. Nope, that didn't enclose them all. So, but if I select all these lines, and I can just press the delete key, and that deletes it. So now I zoom out. So now I've got one more, about 1/4 of the way, and this is in the middle, and this is another quarter. So now I've got a pan for this one. I'm gonna pan for this one. Okay, zoom in. Well, let's pan for a little bit. Okay, so get out of the pan, and same thing, offset. It still remembers 0.625, press enter, and we take this line, offset, offset this line, and then offset onto this side a couple of times. Okay, press enter to get out of the offset command, go into the trim command, select this line, and this line, this line, and this line. Press enter. Now we can select what it is we want to trim out, and we want to trim out these 1/16, and now enter. And now I can use the erase command but the erase command doesn't really allow to select objects like that either, so I have to select them one by one. Okay, so now let's zoom out. So what was important to me is that I created the center line to go to here, and I overlapped with a whisker like this that was on the right side in this circle, but I did not want that to be in there, and so I got rid of it, and I demonstrated how what is one way to get rid of it. Okay, so now I gotta dimension this, and this one's got a lot of fillets, a lot of diameters, and a lot of yeah, circles. I mean, it does have this cutout. It will be interesting. How do I? This one is a challenge. Okay, I gotta get out of the pan command. Control S. Okay, that saved it. So, this is not like the orthogonal projections, but the rule is still the same. I'm sorry I didn't record how I rotated these center lines and how I really got this center line and how I got the cutout in the middle there, but I don't feel like redoing it right now. Do I? The rotate is easy. You select the objects, and there is a rotate command, and you rotate them by a certain number of degrees. These lines are not curved, they are straight. These lines are the lines that are curved. So the way to get the line into the center is with an offset command. And right now okay, darn it, I will redo it. I won't redo the rotating of the circles, but let's get rid of this line. Delete. So the offset command, I need the diameter first, so I am gonna do a come on, give me the drop it down. Okay, we need diameter, and we need the diameter on this arc. It's 0.5, so the offset will be 0.25. Get out of the number mode, offset, and then type 0.25, enter, and we're offsetting either the top line or the bottom line. Okay, let's go with the top line. AutoCAD, when you are offsetting curved objects, will adjust their size. And so this is the tricky part I'm facing right now, is because I need, because it's once again overlaps with these whiskers. Now let's draw a line coming from this center, because that's how um, the measurements for this were defined in the textbook drawing. So there's the line. I don't know why it shows. I guess I am on the center layer. Okay, and go to this center. I'm gonna type int. It's being squirrely there. I need this to be precise. Okay, int. So that gives me the angles, but I need the middle line. So I draw another line from, I'm gonna do int, from the int here to the int here, intersection, int. Okay. So now I can draw a line from the middle point of this line, MID. So perhaps I need to zoom in. No, I think I got it. Okay, zoom out, and I go back out to the int here, to the circle center. Okay, int. Okay, bam. We've got that. So now, if I do the extend command, extend, and I pick this object to extend to, press enter, and this is the object I am extending. Press enter to say that we are finished. So now let's zoom in. Okay, that zoomed in. Okay, so now the trick is that the offset command 0625 works. We can say offset this object by 0625 here, one more time, and then select this object, offset, this object, offset, this object, offset. Okay, then press enter to get out of the offset mode. I am gonna pan and zoom a little bit so that it's easier for you guys to see. Okay, so that's zoomed in pretty nice. So now we're going to the trim command, just like we did with the center line in the bottom part of this. I believe it's called conveyor link. Oh, I'm still in the pan command. Okay, trim. Oh, okay, it's typing numbers. Trim. Okay, so we now select our lines. Press enter, and we're cutting out this piece, and we're cutting out this piece. Press enter. So now zoom out, and you see how these lines, they got offset. They didn't get offset to the center. They all got offset to to their respective, their whatnot, whatever. So now we can, yeah, we have to select them one by one. will select this one, delete, so they're gone. Oh, one of these didn't get selected, delete, okay. But I've got an issue. I gotta fix these ends, and I don't know what happened to them, because because originally when I did the offset, I actually extended the line and extended it past the so let's see what's going on here. It looks like it goes all the way to the center, which is good, but what we need is exit, and we need our offset command. The distance is specified 1/16, so we say offset this line to here and offset this line to here. Enter to get out of the offset command. Pick this line and take this end and move it to this. Well, it still sees it as an intersection, so I'm gonna hope this works. Yeah, so I moved it to this intersection. So if I zoom out and pan, okay, well, I first need to escape, you know, to get out of the operations that I had. So if I zoom in here now, zoom in here, exit, and what are we doing? We're doing offset, and we're offsetting, distance is right, so press enter. We're offsetting this line to here, this line to here. Press enter to get out. Select this line, and now drag the point of it to the INT intersection over here. Okay, that's how we recovered our gap. So now I don't need, okay, I need to escape to complete that. So I don't need this line, I don't need this line, and I gotta be careful with this line because you see there's overlap with my whisker, so I'm gonna pick it somewhere there, and you see it goes all the length to the center, so when I delete it, my whisker is there, and it's all good. So we gotta move to the top, zoom, pan out, move to the top, and delete the lines here. So exit, select this line, and this line, and then this is far away from affecting the whisker. Oh, and I had a dimension made there, so get rid of it. I'm gonna do Control S, but we're the wrong color, we're on the wrong layer, so I can select all these lines and switch them to the center line layer, escape, save, zoom out. Wow, I'm gonna need to pan a little bit too. This mouse doesn't have as many notches in its rotation. So there it is. That's how, I mean, that's part of how to create. I mean, there is the extension, but basically you extend the line to the here, and then extend the arc by 1/4 of an inch and extend the line to there. So and then you chop it up, and this is how you chop it up. Okay, I almost lost interest in dimensioning this. Friend of mine, get rid of that. Okay, well, let's try to dimension a little bit. So the first thing is we have linear from this extension line, well, center line to this center line, and it's, well, actually 0.5 is not gonna get us 0.5 because we're measuring off of so let's zoom in a little bit, because we do have grid lines. They're hard to see. Yeah, they're very hard to see, and we're kind of in the middle there. So if I grab this and go to kind of the middle here, that will be kind of like 0.6, I mean 0.5. So there we got that. Now these holes are gonna be exact precision, so we will specify the 2x with them, but we gotta get the drop down box to get a diameter. And I asked the instructor, and I said, well, when do you usually specify a diameter, and when do you usually specify a radius? And so he said that, yeah, you know, when you do holes, you specify a diameter because the machinist is going to use a drill bit. And so how do you, find a drill bit? By a radius. The drill bits are going to be in diameters. But whenever there is a fillet or an arc, then you can that's not what I wanted to happen. I didn't want to move it again. I want the text. Okay, here I've got the text. So I'm going to type in 2, 2x, because they are exactly the same on both sides. And instead of pressing enter, I press escape and then say keep the text changes, because when you press enter, but that moved the line, so yeah, see, now it selects the text. So I gotta select the line at some other point. Still selects the text, but I have an idea. I want to press enter and make this like this. Escape, and that might actually make it so that I don't even need to move the line. Escape one more time. There. So I move the line I double check that I'm aligned. Ah, the mouse is okay. That should pick it up. So I'm aligned with this line, and I want to move it away from that measurement a little bit farther away. Okay, Control S to save. So now, similarly, we need the outer radius of this. So we will do it over here as well, but this is the situation where it is going to be a radius. So select arc or a circle there, and it knows where the center of it is, and it's wanting to place it on the inside, but we will press click the mouse and then select it and drag it out. So it's radius 81, and we'll place it here with angular measurements. The rules are a little more flexible, so I need to get to that text. Come on, how do I get to that text? There. So I'm gonna type 2x, and I'll press the enter key as well. 2x radius 0.81. Now, in order to complete positioning of these lines, we need to know how far away from the bottom they are. So we need this intersection. You know, I'm gonna refer to it as an intersection. INT. Oh, it's typing numbers. Okay. And we're caps locked. INT. Okay. Good. We've got the intersection there, and then we go to this center line, and we move out, and we are exactly 0.81. So we're kind of duplicating our measurements, but I think that's okay. So we're 0.81. So this gives us the dimensions for basically the whole bottom feature. The fillets are up there, so we can't really do anything about them. So now we need to locate this hole, or at least what starts out as a hole, and we gotta do angular with it, and the angle will be from, well, this is where it's gonna get tricky, because the angle is gonna be from this little line to this little line. Is it gonna do that? Yes, it does, but it doesn't give me what I need. Do I need that center line extended all the way to the circle? That's a good question to my instructor. But that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to say EX extend, and we'll say to this line, press enter, and I'm going to extend this line. I will need to make the holes in it. But right now I don't see how else I'm going to achieve angular from here to angular over here. Zoom out and press the and yeah, apply the okay, and also I need to move out this guy to 0.875 because I need the distance. I need a linear distance from INT, no typing numbers please, INT intersection there to, well, we'll go to the extension line there, and we go down, well, should be 0.5, but we are eyeballing. Okay, that's how we're finding that center. I don't like how this angle 15 looks like, so instead I'm going to drag it out to here. That eats up my, no, I will leave it here somewhere. Yeah, in fact, even make it smaller so that my center lines, the cutouts of my center lines are visible, because that makes it look nice. Oh, but we're right on this center line. I don't like that. I really don't. So I'm gonna do it differently. I'm gonna get rid of this measurement. Delete works, right? And I'm going to offset. Okay, it's asking for distance, which needs to be 0.25. I have to reel my line back in. Object to offset to here, press enter, and now no typing numbers, trim to here, press enter, and we're trimming away this piece. Press enter, and now get rid of this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the angle differently. My instructor will probably chew me out for that, but I will say this line to this line. I'm sacrificing the middle cutouts I did there, but I'm doing 15-degree angle here. Okay. And that leaves me space to do a radius for this guy. And remember, when you're doing radius or diameter, it doesn't place it very well right away. So you just click somewhere and then you bring it out. See, I want to align it with this number. Is it? No, the AutoCAD doesn't really give me that. But we'll pretend that we found the center. So radius of 0.25. That allows somebody to determine the thickness of this cutout. Okay, I need to pan a little bit. Okay. So things are getting even more complicated with the hole up there. Because yeah. Because now I've got the angle to deal with. And I've got the location in space to deal with. So we will do a linear dimension. A linear dimension from, well, I don't see any better choice as from the center of the circle. So there I got the center of the circle, and I'm gonna go out to this center line. That's another thing my instructor might chew me out for. Okay, we've got this location in space, but we also need this location in space. So another linear. It's gonna start getting crowded. Another linear, and let's find the end. Or I could use CEN for center, and I'm doing 194 here. But that kind of occupies the space where I would want to do the angle. Which is a trick in itself. Yeah, and I'm not leaving myself room for this guy either. I mean, if I do a radius of this, remember it doesn't do it well right away, so we click on it and we pick the middle line there and we pull it out. See, I have to get as close to here as possible and really maybe even go down here to align. Yeah, I am not really happy with how that looks, but that's the radius there. And I didn't leave myself space for the angle, unless I do a trick like this, angular from this line to this line. Well, it highlights it, but it does not select it. So I have to do the angle to this line. And how does it look? It doesn't look good. Because I have to go all the way up above. But we'll do it. We will say this is how we're gonna do it. Move this a little bit down. Save. So now at least we know. Well, actually, do I even need the angle? Do I even need this measure? I don't. But I need the 30 degree, and I still don't like where it's positioned. But at least that's a little better. I didn't leave myself room for slop by specifying this location. And this location is also not right. It's hard for a technician to find in space. So I do need, well, no, I do need that. But I need it from the base, I believe. Okay, I need a drop down box for linear, and we're going from, let's try CEN, circle center. Yes, CEN works, and we do it to this intersection. It picks it up, and then we move it out like this. And so now we have an angle. And this radius, can I move this radius up above there? Yeah, looks like not terribly bad. Let's try that. Radius of 1.0, angle. We will type in 2x radius 25 on this one, so that way we will know. I'll press enter again and do it like this, 2x r25. Save the text changes and Control S. Well, so now I just have the fillets to mark. So there's a fillet right here. Remember, it doesn't draw the measurement the way you want it. So we drag it out. I don't like this circle that it does, but okay, we'll do it like that for now. And we have another radius here. Okay, remember once again, it doesn't do it the way you like it. Oh wow, this one is gonna be just like that. Actually, escape. I don't even want to change it. It is okay as it is, we might say, except that I will move this text up to line up with this text. Is that possible, AutoCAD? Are you going to give me that line? It's giving me some line that's not the line, but we go just a little bit lower and bam, that's where it is. Okay, I think I dimensioned this object enough, and I demonstrated to you how to do center lines. I didn't demonstrate how to rotate the lines, but I'm sure we'll have another chance. What do we have here? We have a boiler stay. Well, perhaps we break up the recordings. We don't do the boiler stay right now. It's not too bad. It probably can be better, but we'll leave it at this for now. Okay, talk to you guys later.